All right, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Live in English or Understanding your inner self. And thank you for joining us on this amazing knowledge. And this is the journey where we go together to explore these amazing principles and so specifically the three is methods reference system, and that will help us gain great insight of the world around us, especially how we can navigate through life, because life will throw at us many problems, but with the right principle and the right semantic reference system, we will know exactly what they are, and we will be able to be proactive rather than reactive. And we are in season three of Lit in English, and this season marks a very special time because in this season we will complete the three semantic reference system, namely the human structure. In the previous season, we was able to figure out what the root formula is and what is the triangle of reality. And yeah, toward the end of this season, we will be having the human structure completed. So just a quick recap from what we went over yesterday before we move any further. So yesterday we dive in deep on the introduction of the root formula. So in the root formula, we explore the example of a mango tree and the six solution that people are usually choose to turn their sour mango into a sweet mango. And even though this is an example of a mango tree, however, what we really tried to demonstrate and what we really trying to figure out is, are these solution good solution? Are these a permanent solution to a problem? Because what we have learned in the very beginning is that if we can simplify all problem in life into the most basic one, they would fit into four categories, which are inner self, health, relationship, and finance. And doing so, it will help us have a clearer understanding of which area we are needing to work toward. And doing that, we will be more proactive rather than reactive. And what do I mean by this? What I meant was, if you're just waiting for a problem to happen and then react to it, then you will end up having to reacting to um, pretty much the same problem over and over again. But if we choose to be proactive, if we can make the conscious decision to work on our inner self, to work on our health, to work on our relationship, to work on our finance, then when problem occurs, we already know what to do. We already have a solution for it. And the cement the root formula is one of the three semantic reference system, and it will help us understand the root, the cause of the problem. And this example show us that even though these are very good solution to a problem, they are not permanent solution. These are only temporarily. These reactive action can only solve any problem in the big four category. Those are only temporarily. And this takes us back to the example of the chicken egg, right? Just like the little stick figure here, being surrounded by the sixth barrier, we have learned that if the forces are making the impact from the outside in, then that would mean life is about to yield us as food. But if we can make the force coming from the inside out, then that is life. Therefore, we are needing to go to the root of the problem. Better yet, we need to go to the seat of the problem, because just like the example of the mango tree, when we plant the correct seed, when we have the right information, then it is simpler, or it is very simple for us to get our sweet mango tree. If we can just do it right at the very beginning, we don't have to go through all the steps. And even though I write down 6 here, there are many other solutions to this problem that they might sound different. But if we were to simplify it, it will fall into this 6 category. Because yesterday, when we asked this question, Jasmine gave a very good example of how she would make like a smoothie out of the sour mango, but that's also mean that she would add sugar into that smoothie drink to make that mango from sour to sweet. Or she also gave the example of, hey, you know what? Let's make a mango sticky rice. So even with mango sticky rice, there's some sugar addition to the food. And yes, we can choose to have these solutions, but they are only temporarily. The root formula allow us to go to the very root of the problem, or the very seat of the problem, and it give us the information needed to be proactive rather than reactive. And on that note, let's start on today's presentation. And again, today's presentation is still about the root formula. We will dive in deep into it so that we can now have a greater understanding of it. So let me just one moment here. All right, I hope you have a pen and paper, because if we were to draw together, we will understand it better. All right, what I want to do is let us draw the to the corner of the paper. Let's write the word outcome. Outcome. Okay, we focus on the outcome, because just like the previous slice, we want to get the sweet mango. It is important to know what outcome we want. Where is the end result that we want to acquire? And starting from the outcome, we can work backward, and we will know how to get to the outcome, the solution that we want. And this is not just the mango tree. This can be any outcome. So let's imagine the outcome for any solution, for any things that you want to have, whether it is like being healthier, or having more friends, or having a better understanding of your inner self, or making more money. It doesn't matter what that is. Those are the outcomes that we we want, that we desire. So what would get us to the outcome? And thanks to the teacher and the guru, we learned that the outcome that we see, that we are receiving, are occurring through our choices. So let's write the word choice here. And if you can remember back to the principle of transformation, we realize that transformation is occurring all the time, whether we like it or not. And it is very important that we make a conscious decision on the outcome that we want, the transformation that we want. Therefore, knowing this, we understand that the choices that we make will give us the outcome that we want. And a lot of the time, the outcome that we are receiving, sometimes they are not the outcome that we want. It is not favorable to what we want, but it still happened. And it's happened because it is very suitable to us. And what do I mean by that? For example, for the longest time, I had been trying to be healthier, but I didn't make as much of a result as I wanted, even though I have tried really, really hard. And even though the outcome is not exactly how I wanted it, but that outcome of being a little bit overweight is very suitable to my lifestyle, because I still like to eat like sweet stuff. I still like to go out and enjoy food. So the choices that we make and how suitable we are to an outcome has a direct influence to the outcome that we are getting. On another word, that is the transformation that we are receiving. And the root formula allowing us to understand exactly why all of this are happening. And we are knowing this for a fact because this reference system is the one that we are borrowing from science. Is the science point of view. Because just imagine that you run a big company, like your own company. Let's say it is $1 million company, and the outcome that that you want would be to grow this company, to have the right people to help you grow this company, and people have invested a lot of money to figure out a system of how to get to the outcome that they want. And funny enough, they realize that it is not about the product that they created. It is not about the services that they offer. They quickly realize that everything that they own, everything that they acquire in the business world, it is all about the people. It is the employees, it is your associate that help build the company to the way that it is. It is also the customer who consume your product that help you grow your company. So it is all about the people. Therefore, all of the big corporation or the big company out there, they invested a lot of money to figure out how come that they are receiving the result, the outcome that they have, and how can they get to the outcome, the solution that they want. And they realize that they are needing to understand the character of the associate or the character of their customer, because the character will have direct direct influence on the customer choices or their employee choices. So let's go ahead and write out the word character. Character. And this is one of the main reasons why you are seeing the success of social media and big companies like Facebook or Google, because even though they offer their service for free, I don't know if you use Facebook here. I used to use it. I don't use it anymore. But what interesting about big tech company like Facebook and Google is that they collecting data from their user so that they can figure out what the user characters are like, and they, through the information that the user provided, they would recommend product or services. Pretty much it is a form of advertisement, and understanding the character, it is easier for them to sell a product or services. And many other companies spend a lot of money to buy advertisement from Facebook, from Google, to get them the right character of customer that they need, so that they can help increase sales. And this is what big company and corporation are interested in. They want to know, they want to find out the right character of their customer. Similarly, the success of any business require a certain type of personality, as in the people who work for them. Therefore, if you were to look at a job description, you often see that they have a very clear description of what kind of person they wanted for that job, what kind of expectation they have for that job. For example, if you were to apply to work for a restaurant, then they would want to know if you are familiar with the back side of the restaurant, as in the operation in the kitchen, or are you more familiar with the front of the restaurant? There are different characteristics, and we quickly realize that the character of a person influence their choices, and from that we can use that to our favor to get to our outcome. And on a more personal note, it is our character, the choice that we make, will get us the outcome that we are having. For example, a person who like to go to the gym, like let's say 3 times a day, they will get the outcome of having a healthier body. On the contrary, if a person who had the character that like to eating fast food or eating unhealthy food, let's say 3 times a day, like going to McDonald's or having like a lost fry or something, so that character and that choices will generate the outcome that is suitable to that character. But when researches was done, and when we look a little bit deeper into it, we realize that character is not the root of the problem. Similar to what we have in the previous page about the mango tree. Each of the steps we thought, oh, this is the solution. However, it is still not the root of the problem. And as we discussed, we want to get to the root of the tree. And better yet, we want to get to the seed of the sweet mango tree in order to get the result that we want, which is the sweet mango tree. And we quickly realize that character is not the root of the problem, because when even when we hire a person who have the character that we want for the job that we offer, we quickly realize that if they don't maintain that character, then they might fall off and they might not produce the result that we want. And all of the big company, they realize that there's something else that they need to reinforce, and not just the initial character. And through research study, they realize that habit habit is what causes, what generated the character. And they realize that people need to be taught. And from here, you will see that big company like, let's say, Coca-Cola, they will spend a lot of money to do advertisement to get their customer into the right habit. Or let's say Starbucks, for example, right? They are very good at showing the advertisement of, let's say, famous and wealthy people holding a cup of Starbucks, and they get you, the customer, to try and to get into the habit of going to buy their product every morning. And doing that, they was able to charge you 20 times the cost of the coffee that they are offering. And that is insane. And that model is very, very successful. Therefore, all of the businesses, every job, every career, even in a personal level, we quickly realize that by having the right habit, we will build the right character. And through providing information like advertisement, the big company, they successfully create a habit of their consumer, to build a character of the consumer that they wanted. And this also worked for their employee, their associate in the office. And this is part of the reason you will see company would offer like bonus, trying to get their staff to work harder, to work toward like a goal, so that they can help increase sales or increase revenue for the company. And they quickly realize that it is also important to invest in money to reinforce the habit, to build the character, which then have a huge influence on choices, which will in turn provide the outcome that we want. And through that process, they realize that habit is not the root of the problem either. Habit is something that still need to be reinforced. It need to have a constant actions to it, because in order to have habits, you have to do something repeatedly over a short period of time. And we realize that action is what is having direct influences on habit. And this is extremely important, because once people figure this out, when people figured out that action is what needed to get to the outcome that we want. When people figured out this model in the 1970s, we started to see a lot of self-help program where all of the guru would help people to take the right action in order to build the right habit, to create the character that they want in order to get the outcome that they want. And one of the very famous book that I have read is the Millionaire Habits. And in that book, he wrote something very interesting that I love to share all the time. And he said that in order to make $1 million, you have to be a millionaire first. And I thought that was strange because the definition of being a millionaire is that you have to have at least $1 million in cash. So like, I was like, what is this guy talking about? But what he was talking about is that he is focusing on the outcome, and he was focusing on what needed to get to that outcome. And he himself is a millionaire, a multimillionaire. And he realized that the way that he was able to make his money is that he had to change his character, because his old character, his old self, was not suitable for the result, the outcome of making $1 million or becoming a millionaire. He's realized that he need to make some changes. And he also wanted to help his reader, people like us, to make the shift, the transformation from one character to another, from a character that, let's say, making minimum wage, to a character that is capable of making that $1 million. And in that book, he laid down that, you know what, in order to become a millionaire, to make that $1 million, you need to have the habits of a millionaire. And some of those habits would be waking up early in the morning. And as soon as you wake up, you make your bed, because that will be your first successful things in the morning. And later at night, after a long day of work, when you go home, the bed is ready for you to rest. And then he also asked people to do meditation, to do like goal setting, to write down the thing that they appreciate for and something that they are looking forward to. And he went in detail on what kind of action that they need. What do they need to do in order to form those action into habit? And he knows that through those habits, it will help change the character from just an average Joe to a millionaire. And it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop at action, habit, and character. In the book, he's realized that the most important thing that a person needed to do is to change their thought. And the reason for it is because if you don't have the right thought, then you wouldn't take the right action. Because if you don't have the thought that you are going to wake up at 5 in the morning, then it is almost impossible to start waking up at 5, which in turn not going to create that habit of waking up at 5, which cannot build that character of a successful person. So in the book, he go in deep of how to change the thought. And that's when meditation come in. That's when the appreciation exercise come in. That's where the gratitude come in, because he constantly working on thought in order to get to the action, to get to the habit, to get to the character. And similarly, if you can look at advertisement or business model like Coca-Cola or Starbucks, they are very much aware of the structure, and this is the reason they spend a lot of money, tons of money on advertisement, because what those does, it helps reinforce your thought. It helps reinforce your thought on that product. And in the US, Super Bowl is coming up, and during Super Bowl, which is I think this weekend, and for those who are not familiar with Super Bowl, it is like a American football, and it is as big as the World Cup, which happened recently. But pretty much during that time, during the final match of Super Bowl, 1 second of advertisements would cost millions of dollars. But all of the big companies, they're willing to pay that. Actually, they happy. They wanted to pay more in order to play their advertisement during that time, because they realize that people are excited. Millions and millions of people tune into the game. And if they can just play an image, if they can get the thought of the viewer to the point where they wanted to just go out there and buy the product, not just once or twice, but over a long period of time, they engrave that thought of advertisement, which will cause the action of buying that products or services, and it's becoming a habit, and it becoming a character. And this is the exact reason why it is so hard to kind of like get out of certain kind of habit. But understanding this, we can also use this reference system to our favor, because you know what? We know that this is working, and we know that we can use the exact same model to get to the outcome that we want. So let's think of this for just a moment. Let's go back to the Lightroom, our Lightroom, and our house, of how if we were to simplify our problem, our desire in life, we realize that it's only fall into 4 categories. That is the inner self, that is health, that is relationship, and that is finance. And the main goal for this program is understanding your inner self. So let's say, if I want to have the outcome of understanding our inner self, then what do I have to do? We realize that we need to have a character of a person who understands inner self. And then we realize that in order to build that character, we need to have a habit. We need to have the right action. And you know what? Let's get the right thought, because it will trickle down to the outcome that we want. And this is exactly the reason that we are here today, that we are doing this, because the more we are exercising this, the clearer the image that we want to generate the outcome that we want. Kind of like eating a delicious meal. When we have it, we want to go back to it. We want to try it again. We want to do it once in a while. Or the example that I gave toward the end of yesterday's presentation, similar to how we would brush our teeth every day, or how we take a shower every day to take care of our physical body. The way that we take care of our thought, as in working on our inner self, it will direct influence on our action, which will directly influence on our habit to be our character and get to the outcome that we want. And I can say this with confidence because this is what I have been doing in the past couple of weeks, because I have been sharing this knowledge. And in turn, through a thought of doing it, I actually take action to do it. And I build a habit of doing presentation like this at the exact right time every single day. And it building a character of a person who have the confidence in sharing this knowledge. And on this note, I would like to personally thank everyone here for joining me on this journey. And through this, we all have a better understanding of this amazing knowledge. And I can also tell you with confidence that people have invested a lot of money to figure this model out. And it has been passed down to decades, or if not like thousands and thousands of years, people have learned this. And this is what brought them success. However, when we look throughout story, or when we look throughout all of the successful story, we realize that this is still not the root of the problem. There's something deeper, because there are people who get to their outcome much faster than how it was before, because the world have changed. And the information is more readily available. And just like the story that I share at the very beginning about Mr. Roger Bannister, if you can remember, prior to him running 1 mile under 4 minutes, there wasn't anyone that was able to accomplish to get the same result. But as soon as he did it, as soon as all of the newspaper make an announcement that Mr. Roger Bannister broke that record, he proved all of the scientists wrong. He proved that it was possible to run 1 mile under 4 minutes. Just soon after that, we had thousands and thousands of people not only did the same thing, they actually broke his record. But prior to that, nobody was able to do it. Similarly, prior to Bill Gates, nobody thought that it was possible to become a billionaire in their 20s. But Bill Gates was able to prove otherwise. He went through these as well, but his result is much faster. And as soon as he was able to accomplish that, to get to the outcome of becoming the youngest billionaire, and then quickly becoming the richest person in the world, and he was holding that title for decades, at least 20 years from what I can remember, probably a little bit more. And that begged the question, what was happening there? Obviously, something changes. What causes those changes? Why is it that some people get the outcome that they want much faster than others? And we realize that there's something amazing here. We realize that thought is not the root of the formula, because thought, it changes all the time. The scientists, they did a study, and they said that there was, like, every day in 24 hours, each of us, we have like about 48,000 or 54,000 thought, just random thought every single day. Therefore, if we were to just focus on thought, it changed all the time. And they realized that that was part of the reason we didn't get to the outcome that we want. And this is the reason that advertisement, they have to keep doing it all the time. They just keep on advertising and advertising to reminding us that, hey, you know what, you need to have this thought. You need to thinking about our products. And when they look at successful people like Bill Gates and like Mr. Roger Bannister, they figured out something very interesting occurring for those people. They realize that, yes, it is a thought that helped get to the outcome that they want, but it is the mindset. It is the mindset of a person, their desire, that help them accomplish their goal. Like the story of Mr. Roger Bannister. He had the mindset that he will break that record. He will run 1 mile under 4 minutes. For Bill Gates, it is the mindset that every household will have a computer system. And not only that, he didn't choose to build a computer. He realized that in order for computer to be useful, they need software to run. And his mindset is that he focused on that. He focused on the mindset that he is going to build software. That is exactly what he do. And because of that mindset, it directly influenced his choices of building Microsoft. And for Mr. Roger Bannister, it is that mindset that influenced the choices that Mr. Roger Bannister made to start exercising, starting to having the idea that he is going to make that record. And he was able to do that through the mindset. And let me tell you, this is big, this is huge, because by having the right mindset, you are actually be in control of your thought. You are not easily influenced by external force, because you know what, if you are letting external force influence you, then just like a chicken egg, it will treat you as food. Maybe you can make the conscious decision to generating the force from the inside out, then you will have that transformation. You will give yourself life. So mindset is what will save you, what will help you get to the outcome that you want, so that you don't get your thought manipulated by advertisement, right? Because when Coca-Cola tell you to, hey, you know what, you gotta go out there and buy that sweet, tasty bottle of Coke, with the right mindset, you would be able to say no, because you know that it is unhealthy. It's not good to you to have that every day. It might not even good to have it once in a while. And with that mindset, you will be able to break through these 4 steps. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm saying this so that you will be more control of your life. But understand this 4 step, it can still help you get to the result that you want, instead of having other people have influence on you and get you to the result that they want, which is unfavorable to you. And that's what we went deep in the transformation, the principle of transformation, because transformation is occur all the time, whether we like it or not. But understanding it, we can learn to ask the right question, to have the positive contemplation, And that will help us have the right mindset. And this is extremely, extremely powerful. I gave the story of Mr. Roger Bannister and Bill Gates. If you look at Mark Zuckerberg, the one of the founder of Facebook, he was able to create one of the most valuable company, one of the most influential company in the world, with just the right mindset. He was only 19 years old when he created Facebook, and he didn't let the thought, the action, the habits, the character of people around him influence him. He just had the mindset that he needed to build Facebook. That is it. And he quit college or university. He quit Harvard, one of the best university in the entire world, to pursue his pursuit of Facebook creation. And through that mindset, it's going to directly influence his choices, which generate the suitable scenario, suitable situation to get to the outcome that he wants, which was the creation of Facebook. So I'm not saying that this is the quick route. This is the more direct route, right? If you can look back to the mango tree example, we want to get to the root of the problem. We want a permanent solution to this. We don't want to keep switching back and forth with these temporary solutions. And we quickly realize that mindset is something that is very, very powerful. And this also reinforcing what we said earlier about being proactive rather than reactive. We don't let external force influence on us. We don't want to be a chicken egg where the forces impacting on it from the outside in. We want to be proactive. We want to have the right mindset for inner self. That is understanding your inner self materialize happiness. We want to have the right mindset about health. We want to have the right mindset about relationship. We want to have the right mindset about finance. And through that, we will be able to be proactive. And I can see Ian Butt asked if I had the audio and the slide. Yes, I do have it on Telegram. If you go to Telegram, you will see all of the image for this. And we also have a YouTube channel. It doesn't have the video recording, but it does have the audio one, and you can use that alongside with the slide. And thank you so much for joining us. And let me check back to this real quick because we get to something very, very important. What we want to materialize is that we want to have the right mindset about inner self, understand our inner self. And using the same method, we want to have the right mindset of good health. We want to have the right mindset of having better relationship. We want to have the right mindset of having better finances. And that will help us becoming more proactive. And the amazing thing is, even though mindset has helped some amazing people get to their outcome quicker and better, lucky for us, we are receiving this knowledge, this reference system, semantic reference system that can help us dive even deeper. Because when we look at history, when we look at successful story, we realize that people often struggle getting the right mindset. They often have to go through pain, suffering, sometimes even losses in order to have the right mindset. But we don't have to. And we realize that even mindset is not the root of the problem. It's not the root of all things. And we cannot call mindset the root formula. And lucky for us, we was able to learn that there's a layer deeper to get the right mindset. And we have got to use a simpler word to have a deep understanding of this, excuse me. So in order to have the right mindset, it is all about the right image, having the right image. So what do I mean by having the right image? Let's connect it. Remember the story of Bill Gates I told earlier about Bill Gates and how he had the mindset of focusing on his software company called Microsoft. Yes, he had that mindset of success, but what driving that mindset is an image. He had a future vision. And going back to the sixth barrier, if we were to look at number 6, lack of vision, this is the biggest barrier that's stopping our transformation. Maybe you can just like cover up the word lack of vision, you will see the word vision. And if you are paying attention, you will notice that we often hear the word visionary leaders like Bill Gates, visionary leader like Steve Jobs. So having the future vision is extremely, extremely critical. And in the activation of the human brain, we also cover this. We cover a way to activate the human brain so that we can activate it, so that we can activate the future vision, so we can acquire that visionary. I'm trying to find a piece of paper, but it's okay. And that's what we say here, a foresight, or the ability to see future vision. And if we can exercise that, just like Bill Gates, that image of the future have a direct influence on his mindset. And in the case of Bill Gates, not only he realized, not only he had the image that computer will be everywhere. And let me tell you how important this is. During his time when Bill Gates was 12, 13 years old, a computer system would cost millions of dollars. And $1 million back then is the equivalent of, let's say, $10 million in today's currency. And I'm talking about millions of dollars, not singular, not 1 million. A computer system back then would cost tens of millions of dollars in today's currency. And the computer would take up the entire room. And Bill Gates' professor, everyone who in that field said that it is impossible, and there is no way that a family can afford to have that computer system. It's just not, it is impossible. But Bill Gates realized very early on, even when he was 7, 8 years old, when he had the privilege to go to the computer and science museum, and he got to see computer for the first time, he had a very clear image that this is the future. He don't know how, he don't know why, but he just know that computer will be everywhere. it will be in every household. And that is a crazy image for a child at his age. And better yet, he went even deeper. He realized that without software, and I said this earlier, I'm going to repeat it now because it is extremely important. He realized that without software, computers are useless. And he focused on building computer software. Just like Mark Zuckerberg, he quit college, he quit university. He went to work full-time on building software to start Microsoft. And he became the youngest billionaire. He became the richest person in the world over decades. So there is something very, very powerful about image, because the right image having direct impact on your mindset. And having the right mindset is a way for us to be proactive rather than reactive. This is how we take back control of our own life. This is the importance of understanding your inner self, because understanding our inner self, we will be able to build a very strong foundation where we can build a good health on top of that, a good relationship on top of that, and the good finance on top of that, so that the foundation is supported and the building does not collapse on itself. And we are extremely lucky to have an understanding of this, because if you can just spend a quick moment to think of any goal that you want to accomplish in life, whether having a nicer body or having a better relationship. A lot of people, they just want to win the lottery. They just want to make a lot of money because they realize that with the right amount of money, they can buy a lot of things. They can buy happiness, which is fine. And through that mindset, through that images, it is easier for us to focus on our mindset, to focus on the right image that we need to get, because that will directly influence our choices, which will help us get to the outcome that we want. Because if we don't do this, we will get influences by the media, by advertisement along the way. Because there are thousands, if not millions of things happen all around us that have direct influence on our thought, our action, our habit, our character. And it's directly influence on our outcome. And we deserve better, right? We deserve to have a healthier inner self. We deserve to have a healthier physical health. We deserve to have a better relationship, and we deserve to have a better finance. The only problem is we are not in control. We are allowing these 54,000 random thought controlling our thought. And we allowing that controlling our action, and we allow that to control our habit, and we allowing the world to shape our character. And then we ended up getting the outcome that are given to us. But that changed today because we understand the root formula. We understand the importance of the right image. When you change your image, you will change your life. And I'm saying this to myself too, not just to everyone. Because honestly speaking, sometimes when I reflect back to my life, right, I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I here? Why do I not have this? Why do I not have that? And through the principle of transformation, we already realize that is not a positive contemplation. That is not the right image that we want. We want to focus on the image of the outcome that we want. We need to change that image. Just like Bill Gates, when when he started work on Microsoft, he didn't have an image of that company failing, right? Because if he think like his professor, if he were to think that it was impossible to have computer in every household, it was impossible to build software, then he wouldn't do it. But instead, he focused on the image of a successful company, of a successful software like the Windows, and he was able to materialize it. He was able to hold on to his mindset and get to the outcome that he want. Super powerful, very, very powerful. And I know we are running out of time, but let me tell you, there is a level deeper to this. And if you can understand this, the world is yours. There's no limit. And I'm saying this with confidence because I've seen it done. I used to think that it was impossible as well, but I have seen it done. And I know this to be true. So there's another layer deeper than just image. If you can just get to the right mindset, congratulations. You will be very, very successful. But if you understand images, if you understand what I'm saying next, then not only you will be able to change your world, you can have a direct influence on the world itself. And this might sound silly, this might sound funny, but another deeper level on this image is hearing. It is seeing. It is saying. And it is knowing. And I know this is pretty silly because that's how I thought of it when I first heard of it as well. But let me assure you, this is very powerful, very amazing. And we're going to go into a greater detail of this when we get to the human structure. Because this season, we are going to define the three semantic reference system. But before we end this, I want to demonstrate to you the importance of hearing, seeing, saying, knowing. Why am I using this word? In the case of Bill Gates, not only he have a very clear image of the future, he has the future vision that every household will have computers, not just one computer, many computers. That is the world that we're living in. And that clear image is reinforcing by hearing, by seeing, by repeating the image, by knowing that to be true. That clear image, that crystal clear, high definition image help reinforce his mindset, which had directly influenced his choices and give him the outcome that he want. And he became the youngest billionaire at his time, and he became the richest person in the world for many decades. And there's another person that I want to share with you that he is doing, I wouldn't want to say doing very well, but there is something that he had to deal with. There is something he had to live with. And his success story has literally changed the world. And that is my idol, Mr. Elon Musk. He is the current richest person in the world from when I last checked. He owns multiple successful companies. So if you are familiar with Microsoft or Bill Gates, time that to 5, time that to 10. given the time, it's gonna be 1,000 times bigger than the Microsoft. And in one of his interview, Elon said something very interesting. He was asked many times, and he was asked again in that interview. And one of his fans asked him, like, Elon, I want to be as successful like you. I want to be as smart as you. What do I need to do to be like you? I want to be just like you. And Elon thought for a few seconds. And I don't know if he's answering it, so he just like mumbling it to himself. But he said that you don't want to be me. And people was puzzling, and they were like, what are you talking about? Like, and then he continued, you don't want to be me because being me is like, you can't turn it off. You can't just shut off the way the brain thinks. And what he was saying is that in his head, he constantly had these images, the future vision of different idea that he can hear clearly, he can see it clearly, and it's being reinforced through saying, and he knows that to be true. And he had been living for many years, for many decades with this, and he cannot turn it off. And he was able to materialize his vision because of this level of hearing, seeing, saying, and knowing. When he decided to invest on his SpaceX company, which is a space exploration company, right? He got like a little bit over $100 million from the sale of one of his company, PayPal, and he decided to invest all of that money into space exploration, which is crazy. Nobody ever thought of that. And then his friend was showing him like rocket being exploded prior to launch, and that doesn't stop him. And we all know, everybody know the risk of getting into that industry. Everyone, not even one person believe in him but himself, but he got the money for it. And he realized early on that without money, he's not going to be able to do it because people just don't understand what he is doing. He has to prove it to them. He has to materialize it. He has to make that outcome a reality. Otherwise, people just don't believe it. And sitting here telling you this story, I still don't believe it. Even though it is true, I just can't believe there's a person who is capable of doing that. And the example that I am giving is just one of the many, because Elon was able to build a successful car company like Tesla. And then he also have his boring company, which is a tunnel that can dig down to build tunnel underneath. And then he have his solar company that provide electricity. And he have his OpenAI, recently make a bunch of headline because of the chatbot using AI technology. Pretty much he is in the front of all of these amazing projects. And he doesn't say this like directly, but lucky for us knowing this information, we realize that people like Mr. Musk, he had a very clear image. He had that future vision, that visionary leaders. He was able to hear it, see it, say it, and know it very clearly. And if we can utilize this, the outcome that we want will be only a matter of time, just like what Mr. Elon did. And I would like to end this presentation here. I know it's very amazing. I can talk about this for days, but this, my friends, is just one of the 3 semantic reference systems. They're just a group formula, and If a person can understand in this, they can materialize any dream because we know how to get there. We know what to focus on. We no longer allow the word or the media influencing on every step of the way. They can't stop us from having the right image, the right mindset. And this is how we understand our inner self. This is how we build our skyscraper. And the amazing thing is, in this season, season 3, in the next couple of days, this is just one of the 3 semantic reference system. This is just one of the 3 tools that we will explore, that we will own. And this 3 semantic reference system is what will help us taking back control of our own life to materialize our result that we want. So let's end here. Let's see each other again tomorrow. Unless anyone would like to share anything, I would like to play a song so we can go out with a song like usual. And thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, I think our community is growing, and let's keep this going. Our mission is to offer this knowledge to every corner of the world, because together we will be better. We will have a greater understanding of this, and we will be able to help make the world a better place. All right. So on that note, let's go out with a song like usual. Thanks again for joining us.